and this indicator appeared. And this is something I want to talk about. Now, not in the 1 minute chart, but in the 5 minute chart, this indicator appeared. Now, what is this? This is known as engulfing candles. Now, when you have engulfing candles, especially off a major level, you have to pay attention, and especially if it's near the low of day. Do you understand what this looks like if I were to combine the candles? Now, don't forget, how this candle looks like is like this. This is the open of a red candle, right? And this is the close. And for a green candle, it's the other way around. This is the open, and this is the close. So when you combine two candles, you combine the open, and you combine the close of the next candle. And therefore, what will this candle look like? This candle will look like this. Perfect. This is a hammer doji. Now, a hammer doji at the tail end of the chart, where this area here, where the wick is not being tested at all, off a major level, this is a reversal pattern, 100%, right? So there is a high chance that this is a reversal. And at that point in time, you noticed, drew a selling channel, and it broke the selling channel, and it formed a hammer doji right here off a major support level. So you see, having good levels is also very important, right? It helps you in making your decisions better. Now, in this case, when it happens, you have to place your stop loss at the low of the day, because you have to trust that this doji here, or this engulfing candles with this amount of volume, will defend this level here. And it did. It never went down. And in this case, it formed another buying channel by breaking out of the selling channel first. So in this case, what indicators do we have? Right, the first indicator is breaking of the selling channel. So when it breaks the selling channel, that's the first thing you got to do, right? Take your runner's profit that you took from your puts here. Otherwise, I would have taken my profit straight off this major level anyway. I will not wait for it to break through the selling channel. But you could if you want, especially the runners that are inconsequential. Now, from here on, what you see is a forming of the buying channel. And you noticed, once again, extremely systematic buying. Right, so when this happens, all you got to do is to allow the trade to take shape here. Now, in this case, the next trade that we see, right, a buying channel happened, and we broke the buying channel again. And let's see how this trade turns out. We take a look at a 1 minute chart here, right, and we see this buying channel that I charted. So you notice, even though we found some resistance here, no, you should not be taking puts. Why? Because you have not broke the channel. So there is no additional confirmation for you to take your puts. And you realize that in this case here, it broke through this buying channel, and we formed an even steeper buying channel. And you notice it formed a secondary buying channel here, which is also here. Now, partially it's part of this channel with a new channel here, and you notice the gradient is all similar. So this is the exact same algorithm of the systematic buying of the big money, just on a higher price level. So this buying channel is the same, even though it went up to another level here. So this was the original buying channel right here. And then it broke through here, and then it formed another buying channel, but with the same gradient. So when that happens, this is the same algorithm, this is the same parameters that the systematic buying is happening in. So when this happens now, you still have a buying channel. Now notice the same thing happened again, but this time with extremely low volume, because we are at Friday PM session. Now when that happens, this is really difficult to trade. I will not suggest trading this, because take a look, it's just so tight, right? We're trading at a half a point range over 1 hour. It's just impossible to trade. This is not easy to trade, and we are trading at such low volumes. But it's still possible, because now you're looking at this buying channel here. This is a new buying channel, and once again we met some resistance here. Once again, our pink is our resistance, right? Tested once, tested twice, tested 3 times, and it formed the resistance. So when you're forming a resistance like that, and you're forming higher lows, once again, what do you see? Yes, that's right. It's an ascending wedge, and therefore the imbalance will be balanced out. Now, I personally will never take this trade. Why? Although the structure can be seen like that quite clearly, because it's only half a point. It's very, very difficult to be entering this trade safely, especially with such low volumes as well. But otherwise, the channel worked as intended, right? And we push down here like this. Now there's actually one more big indicator here, right? More than this breaking of the selling channel, more than this ascending wedge pattern. And we'll take a look. We'll look at the time. It's 1:40. So this was 1:40. And I want you to see the 30-minute trendline chart here. Now 30-minute trendline chart here at this time here, 1:40. Take a look. Now between 1:40, this 1 hour doji here, I created very powerful doji. Now these two doji, if you combine them together, what you will form is you will form a gravestone doji, right? And just like how a hammer doji is very effective at the bottom of the trading range, the gravestone doji is the exact effectiveness when it's at the top of the trading range. So now we have a gravestone doji that is at the top range of a very strong pink level support here. So you see this gravestone doji that's forming, right? And you see this ascending wedge that's forming. You see a very strong support level here. And you see the breaking of the buying channel. So actually, this is a good trade, even though it has a very, very small range here. So there are many confirmation in this case for this trade for you to take, right? And in this case, you would have a very clear stop loss once again. And if you take in this trade, it will be a 1 point, maybe 1.7 realistically, and maybe a 1.7 point trade. Hey, good enough for an afternoon session, right? And then thereafter, after this formed, right, you see the same thing again, right, forming a selling channel. And we broke the selling channel here. You should take your runners. That's it. So quite a lot to uncover here, but specifically is this indecision dojis here. So I want you to see there's an indecision doji here, and this formed the hammer right here. This one right here form on the 30-minute, two gravestone dojis, which forms the gravestone doji, right? So when this happens, look, there is at least some form of reversal here. So this is still at least a 1.3 point move, right? Unfortunate that we have a buying channel here. So this did not break through this buying channel, and it formed a handle for the cup. And there are so many more instances here I want to show you. And the previous day at 10:35 a.m. right here, you notice this is another indecision doji right here. So if I were to take a look at this, now remember, take the open of the previous candle and the close of the next candle. And what do you see? This is actually equal to another hammer doji right here. Hammer doji right here. And the hammer doji at the bottom of the trading range with a strong support, right? Therefore, you see this rally here. There's this imbalance that's formed that caused the rally, right? Next one, the previous day. Look, that's an indecision doji every single day. Now the previous day we had it at 10:05. That's right here. Now I want you to see this. This back then was forming what we call a tri-star pattern. So firstly, we had this gravestone doji, and then we form a second gravestone doji. And before this candle was fully formed, it was also a gravestone doji, right? And therefore we had three. This is known as a tri-star pattern at a very strong resistance level. And this is why you need reliable levels, right? So at a strong resistance level, another indecision, and look, red candle going all the way down. Now immediately after this, do you see another one right here? So once again, open and close, right? And the rest of the wicks remain the same. So this is a doji that looks like this. Once again, another hammer doji with a reliable level here, a reliable support. It helps at the bottom of the trading range. And guess what? We started rallying with this buying channel here. One more, yes, the day before. One more day before, right? And this is on the 2nd of August. I will take a look at the 2nd of August on the 30-minute trendline chart. And the 2nd of August is right here. Now on 2nd August, take a look. Here, 12:30. Do you notice there's an indecision doji here? An indecision doji at the top of the range, right? Look at this reversal. Great. So this is a doji by itself. Now remember, it has to be either at the top or the bottom of the range. It will be more effective that way. You can see here as well, one more here, right? So this is the open, right? And this is the close. So this will form exactly indecision doji right here, like that. Now because it's got a longer bottom wick, you can consider this like a hammer, but with a little sprout on top. So this is as good as a hammer doji. Look, we have a push-up as well. Right? Now, that's just August alone. Every single day in August, we had an indecision doji. So this is a very powerful indicator. You need to learn from there. But in order for it to work, you need to have reliable levels. And more than just reliable levels, you also need to have confirmation about the structure as well. So you see how we combine a structure within a structure to try to understand where the imbalances is. So every single day, there will be money to be made. You just have to be patient with your entries, understand the structure, get into the trade, and truly within an hour, you will get your feedback on your trade. And you can extract your profits once you identify a trade, and literally within an hour, you can get your money. You can log out and call it a day. So this is what we want to do for day trading. So I hope this video has helped you. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.